Okay, we'll take a look at this. 30 Ford, 31 Chev. So what do we got going on here today? Quite the differences actually, if you see. Actually, you chop them down, you do them, they'd almost look pretty similar. So we got the engine freed up. The engine is freed up and turning with the crank. And someone said, you know, there's a crank for that thing, Rick. I know. I have it right here in the door. So anyway, it's turned up, it's turning over, and it's not turning over that bad by hand. Now I'm trying to get to see if it'll turn over here, but our problem is we got an issue with the starter. Mike's working away on the 31, I think it's 31 or 30 Chev. He's took the gas tank out, he's got the float out of it because it wasn't working right, and he's got it cleaned up and working good now. He's making a new gasket and putting it back together. Hopefully that takes care of that problem. So that's what's happening there. So yes, so we're going to pull a starter, I guess, and look into it. And what else have we got happening here today? We've got all sorts of shit that showed up. I believe this is an 81 Chev. I could be wrong, but you guys will know. Anyway, this one is going in for a small block. Get out this old 6-cylinder. Oddly enough, I've never seen a valve cover like this. In all my years, I've never seen that before in my life. Different. I've never... Now this guy, this is just a daily driver for him. He loves it the way it looks. So he doesn't plan on changing anything. He just wants a nice little small block, give him a little more power. He's dropped it down, obviously. You can see he's put some nice wheels and tires on it. Oh, the seat looks reupholstered. I think he said he put new carpet, dash pad, gauges. He just has fun with it. This is the route a lot of people are going nowadays. They're not, if the body's fairly decent, they're not spending the money on the body and paint. Good for them, bad for me, right? Anyway, but that's okay, I get it. Half my shit's not painted either. Even I can't afford half of it. So that's going to be getting this engine in here. So he wanted a 350 or 300 horse. He ended up with a 350 with 347 horse it dynoed at, with 398 foot-pounds of torque. So that makes him happy. He's got basically got an extra 50 horsepower there. Mike's also working away on Kathy's truck. You guys probably remember this one. It comes in and out every year. This one we did put a V8 in. She wants the spare tire mounted underneath the truck. It does mount on the side. I know someone's going to say something out there. And we put this wheel up there and showed her, but she still don't want it. She wants that one left on there. So it is what she wants. And there she is, Red Hen Pics. I guess you can look her up, redhenpics.com. She does pictures with her truck, like you can rent it for weddings or set up displays in the back. So away you go. I don't know if I can get the... The normal followers will remember we put this nice little 350 in there for her. It was just a used 350 we picked up, running good, kept it on a budget, put it in, and away we went. So anyway, yeah, we got a leaky cowl vent. I'm going to go pick up the cowl seal once I put this camera down, get the tire mounted underneath. That's going to take care of that one for the day. Well, for now. And then what else is going on? There's all sorts of them getting dropped off. Lincoln, 56 Lincoln. This is in, yeah, you don't see many of these, do you? This is in right here, you can see a real bad chip. Scratches and marks all the way up here. So we're going to repair this area. Got a chip down here too. We're going to repair this area and do a blend. And we made sure we had the paint made up first. Then we do a spray out card right there. It's never going to look the same on camera, so don't judge it on camera. But trust me, it's a 90% match. I'm never going to say it's 100%, but that's okay. And Sean's still in there working away on the GTO. He's cleaning up underneath the hood area. Yeah, this Thursday video is full of stuff. So he's getting all this stripped down. The owner does not want to spend any money or time under the hood area. That's fine. To do that properly, you'd have to pull everything apart. So we're going to do the top up here that he asked. And while the window's out, I suggested we paint that. Only makes sense. And then Sean's doing along here. And that's all the owner wants. And that's fine. That's all good. He can, like I say, you work with what they want. So that's it. So we'll pull the starter out of this Model A, see what we can figure out. But like I say, the good news is the engine is turning over. So I'll get some tools, I'll get some stuff going, and we'll get back to you in a bit. Okay guys, so I've got the starter off, got the starter working now. The problem is we've only got compression in one cylinder. We got 50 psi, the rest are not have compression, so we put a camera down there and we see a couple valves are stuck. So we're going to remove the head. So first thing, if you're going to remove these distributors, you got a little 1/2 inch or 9/16 nut there, then you loosen that screw and that distributor will pop out. Then you turn the distributor to get this cable out, turn it, but I'm going to leave it all in one piece and leave it hang there. Then undo the bolts and get the head off. So that's my next plan of attack. Okay guys, we're trying to get the head off, but I want to show you something. I don't know if this is going to show through the camera. See all that? Mouse shit. Every cylinder is full of mouse shit, rust, and nothing but peanut shells falling out of all the cylinder holes. The head's stuck on there. Trying to lift it up because we've got 3 stuck valves. It's kind of just making you wonder, how far do you go with it? You know, you spend your hours and your time into it, and maybe I could have just got him another engine that's rebuilt, right? So I'm not sure. I'm gonna took this off anyway, the manifold, because I can pry better at the head here. We'll get it off and we'll see what happens then. But yeah, this is not looking too good so far. So I've left this soak overnight really good again. I've hit the starter and all the valves are moving up and down. So the biggest problem is now they're quite dirty in here. Could pull it apart, clean it. So I think what I'm going to do, honestly, for what it's going to take to try and save this gentleman a little bit of money, whether you agree or disagree. We are on the next day now. This first video at the beginning of this video was Wednesday. We're now on a Thursday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a head gasket for the hell of it, if I can get this broken stud out, which I should be able to. So I'll heat that up a little bit and try and get it out. If I can get this stud out, I'm going to buy a head gasket. I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to throw the head back on it, just the head, which doesn't take long, and I'm just going to kick it over and just see if I've got good compression. This cylinder's got 50. These ones had 0 because the valves are stuck. But if I can get anywhere up to 50 out of those, or even 40, then hey, for what he wants to use it for, I'll let him make the call. I'll say, this is what I did, this is what you got. I can't promise you any guarantees, but you're not spending $3 grand on an engine. Or do you want me to buy the engine and change this out, and away we go. I mean, I do know the engine's rebuilt, 0 miles, sitting on a stand, and away we go. So we'll decide what we're doing. But in the meantime, either way, I've got to clean some of these parts up and paint them, just at least get the dirt and grease off them. So I'm going to clean some of this stuff up, give it a light coat of paint while it's off. And in between that, I'm going to be removing panels off of the C10 over here. I'm going to be removing the, we talked about it in this video. Maybe a minute ago, I don't know. Like I say, this video is from yesterday, continuing on. I'm going to be pulling these off, and as I pull these off, what I do is I got my pen and tape here because I know everything lines up. There's my 2 shims, so I will write top bolt and I will tape all this together so I know. Then again, I'll write bottom outer bolt with the shims taped together. Then we got a bolt in here and a bolt there, and label it, put it in a Ziploc baggie, and away we go. So right now, between cleaning parts for the Model A, I'm going to be taking that off. Then Sean's in there already working on the old stinkin Lincoln. That was an old term of the day, stinkin Lincoln. Maybe it wasn't, I don't know. Anyway, he's working away. He's got her all bagged up, tidied up. He's working on the door here, doing the repairs right there. You can see just what the customer wanted. So Sean's working on that. Then he's going to, these parts I'm actually taking off, he's going to spray all the edges the gray today. He's got a few things on the go. And then I'm also going to be, we've sprayed the black in behind here. I'm going to be mounting this nose back up and getting it to fit the best I can, so we can pre-fit the hood here again and see what's going to go on with it all. So there is a lot happening right now. So I'm all over the map. So this video is all over the map. So if you want to stick around to the end, go ahead. And if you don't, hey, it's all good. We'll catch you maybe next time. Okay, I'm going to start taking panels off. Okay, cowls are off. Now what I mean by painting the edges is you see all these, see the edges that are, not them edges, all the edges that are buried here on the bottom and that, you're never going to get paint in there properly. So you paint all that stuff. Now, same as this here. This is your top upper cowl for where your wipers go through. Well, you could hang it and paint it, but when you hang it, I'll tell you what the trick is. When you hang it, you have a better, everything that you paint is laying down flat, turns out better. So we want to lay it down flat, but we could hang it. But what we're going to do is we'll paint the backside first, mask it off, then we'll paint it. And then these are the box parts here. The box bolts together, covers this much of this. So all these edges need to be painted now before I can bolt it together. So that's what's going to happen. Okay, Sean's after me, hang on. Okay, so I think I'm going to start on here, take the masking paper off, the black paint's dry, starting lifting his nose and fitting it in place. And as I said, in between here, I've been painting some parts for the Model A that are off. I am not getting carried away here. This gentleman didn't bring it into me for me to start painting and doing a restoration job. So all I'm doing is I'm just quickly running a wire wheel over them, throwing some black on them, the parts that should be black, and that's it. I mean, they're off. Why wouldn't I just give them a quick cleanup, right? Get the greasy grime off them, do that while we wait on seeing what we're going to do here about this engine. So yeah, anyway, let's get some tools handy. I gotta find the bolts and all that for this, and I'll try and fit this and get it lined up, because it didn't line up with a dam before. It could be because both these fenders were hit in the front and they've had some body work done. Nothing major hit, but they've been hit. Of course, Sean has straightened them out now, but we got to get that up there so he can finalize. If you know what I mean by finalize, I mean make sure that the lines all line up to this. And then of course you take it off to paint, but for right now we just want to line it up. So yeah, it's a heavy sucker. So anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, well, we've had jacks, blocks, wood, everything. We've got this the best we're going to get, and I'm not going to lie to you. You can see there's a little bit of an edge here. The line is in line. Then it levels out. It's even here. Again, there's a little bit of an edge there. The line lines up, almost makes you... This is, I don't know what they call this again, I forget. But you can see as I'm moving it here, this is like that rubbery stuff. And it just, over time, it just, you know, gets old. It sinks. The heat gets to it. There's only so much you can do. This is when the good news is the car's going black. So because the car's black, everything will blend in. But is it 100% perfect? No. You could now... You know, we could maybe do a little something here, but you don't want to work with this stuff too much either, because then you start building it up with too much stuff, it just cracks over time, because it's very, you know, this is very flexible, right? I'm super happy with it though. When it came in, this side lined up and the other side was like a country mile out, so I've maxed out my underneath the vehicle, I've maxed out my adjustments. I mean, if I get under there and oblong the holes out more to get these end corners up, well then what happens is it forces this way over top of the fender. I can't just move this one spot, it moves all of it. So this is even here, so it is what it is, right? It's even here, it is what it is. So it's definitely better, but it is not 100%. Maybe a new one of those would fix that, maybe it wouldn't, not sure. Maybe I could get up underneath and try and push something up in there to push that up, but then you're just kind of cheating. There could be, Sean is going to, you know, this is first primer, Sean is going to sand the fenders there a bit too. It could be he's got a little bit of filler there, that may bring it down, we don't know yet, he can't remember. Everything is skim coated to get everything perfectly straight when you're going black, so it could be that he'll knock a little bit of that off of there, and then we might be just golden. But there, that part is done there. So, away we go. And then the Lincoln is outside, it's repaired onto the door. So it's all primed up. We got to put it under cover tonight. And yeah, we're doing good. Doing good, I think. Okay. Heated it up a little bit, and she's moving somewhat. Don't get excited yet. It doesn't mean it's out of there yet. But we're going to keep working it. Keep working it. Get some lubricant in there. What I'm using right now is I'm using this quick release. Trying this stuff. Works really good too. So anyway, I'm going to keep working her. Hopefully she comes out. Alright guys, it was there. We got it out. There it is right there. So we got it out. So I'm going to crank it over, clean up as much as I can around the valves. Not today, but I'm going to. So y'all wonder what I'm up to here. Well, I'll tell you what happened. I already told you in the last video. It was up to the customer. I can get him a brand new, well not new, but rebuilt engine, never been driven, on a stand, running for $3 grand. Or we can try and play with this. As you know, we had 50 pounds compression, we had nothing. Valves were open. 3 of the valves were stuck. Managed to free the valves up. Got them moving up and down. Now how good they're going to seat in here, I don't know yet. We got to clean that up a little bit. I've done this before. It's not like it's my first rodeo here. I've worked on Ford flatheads. I've had stuck valves, and I've gotten in there and cleaned them up. The old, you know, jerry-rig, backyard, whatever way you want to call it. We'll call it vice grip garage way. You know, let's see if this car will run, which everyone's doing nowadays. So Yona said, hey, he was over today. He said, hey, if you can get the stud out for what it costs to throw a head gasket on there. Because I said to him, I said, we can try and get the stud out and clean it up a bit, throw the head back on it with a gasket, depending what it's worth. I don't know, I'm in Canada land here, so it could be $50 to $100. Throw the head back on it and just do a compression check. If this one's at 50, which is good, I think I read online somewhere it said 50 to 70 pounds is pretty good. These didn't have a lot of compression. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, you tell me. I don't know, I'm not even looking up online right now. But I'm thinking if I can get 40 out of each of these, at least 40, even 35 maybe, but if I can get 40 and I got 50 there, and it's only going to get better as it works its way in, hey, maybe it's worth trying to see if this thing runs. Now, it wasn't that I was trying to talk him into an engine. You have to understand is that it's not my money, it's not my car. So he's going to sit here and he's going to pay me. He just paid me an hour to get a broken stud out, okay? Then he's going to pay me to clean this up the best I can, probably another hour, because I'm not going to get carried away with it, just not. But I'll do the best I can. Another hour, then, you know, I got to get the head gasket. Like I said, I don't know what it's worth. So in the end of the day, he's going to take a risk here of maybe dropping, with labor and gasket, 300 bucks, we'll say. 300 bucks to see whether he'll get compression. And even if he gets compression, that still don't mean that this engine isn't going to blow oil or do anything. We do know that we can see inside the cylinder walls and there's not a ridge anywhere and they are spotless clean. And I also know that when I finally did lube it up a little bit, she broke free actually pretty quick. We know the starter's working good. Like, everything so far looked good. When I put the hose through it before it was all apart, the water came out crystal clear. So, you know, mind you, it's going to come out dirty when it gets heated up because that's when the dirt and rust will start, you know, moving around through the heat. It's like a dishwasher. But he said, you know what, Rick? He says, if we're going to, if you think, not that I think, but if you want to give it a whirl and I'm willing to go like 300 bucks or so for a head gasket, a little bit of labor, throw it on there, see if we get compression, let's try it. Because what if we get good compression? What if we throw it back together? What if it runs really good? He doesn't care if it's a little chuggy or if it's maybe there's a little bit of blowing some oil out the back. He just wants it to run again. He's not driving this car to car shows. He's not taking it in parades. Like I said, it was his dad's car. So he remembers, his dad had it in the 60s, and he remembers back in the 70s driving this to high school. And then it sat forever. And then he had it last running, he thought maybe the early 90s, he couldn't remember, and that was it. And he said from what he remembers, he said, I drove it to high school back then. He goes, it ran fine all the time. He goes, and even when he started in the 90s, he goes, I can't remember. He goes, I think it ran okay. He goes, but he never had a problem with it when he was driving it. He goes, and we didn't, he said, we never drove it then really. And the engine in this car, he does remember, the gentleman his dad had bought the car off, which had done work to the car because it's got fiberglass fenders and had done some sort of a restoration. The gentleman told him that's not the correct engine, it's a different engine, because the engine on Model A's is the serial number on the engine is actually your VIN tag. And he said the engine had been swapped out. So obviously the original one is gone and this one went in. Now I'm assuming maybe someone just bought a good used running one, or maybe it was a rebuilt one in the day. We don't know. All we know is we got a broken stud out. I'm heading into town tomorrow. I'm going to grab a head gasket. Next week I'm going to clean it up a bit. I'm done with it for tonight. It's after 6 already. I'm going to clean it up a bit, play with it, and see if we can't get compression off it. And then if we can get compression, then hey, we bolt it back together and we see what happens. He knows the risk he's taken. I explained it. It's all we can do. Let's hope it works out. Okay, that's it for tonight, folks. You can see, started cleaning it up a little bit. Get back into it next week. Head's right there. And we painted up a few little parts for it that were off. Crazy, stupid little stuff, but anyway, it's off. May as well clean it. You know, you got your water steel rad hose and your oil filler tube there with the blow-by part of it. So that's it. That is it for this video. Kind of all over the place today. Don't know what to tell you. That's all you get for this Thursday. We'll be back with you next week. And hopefully we'll have a head sitting on there for the hell of it, and we'll just see if we get compression. What's it going to hurt, right? May as well give it a try. Okay. So it's good time and old time, and I'll catch you later.